B-8 does look a little bit more complicated, but we'll go through the exact same steps and we'll figure it out. So, labeling. So, let's go on that. So, front view looks at it from this direction. I would be able to see this little tiny face right here, and I'd be able to see this oddly shaped face back here. My side view looks at it from this direction, and I would be able to see this kind of vertical rectangle right here, as well as this horizontal rectangle right there. And from above, my top view, I would be able to see this face right here. And I'd be able to see this face down here, but not all of it. And let me explain why. So the top section that's lower down, I wouldn't actually be able to see this portion of it if I was looking from directly above, because that would be below this section. So that overhang would actually kind of prevent that from being seen in our top view. So just a heads up. So measurements. Okay, so for the height, we can see over here it's only 1/4 inch high, but back here it's 5/4 high. So I'm going to keep that 5/4, and it doesn't look like anything goes above that or below that. So height of 5/4, or 1 1/4. Now for the width and length, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to go from my starting point here, and looks like that's the furthest left this goes. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4/4 wide, or 1 inch. And if I do the same thing along my length lines, looks like that's the furthest back it goes. And I can count, okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/4, or 1 1/2. And you can see, if I drew a boundary box, that would be the beginning of it. Now, once we have our measurements, boundary boxes. So height and width, front, height and length is the side, width and length are the top. So in our front view, we see a height of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a width of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I can figure out where my side and top go. So I leave a gap of 1 inch. Side view begins there, and my top view begins right there. My side view, height of 5/4, right here, and a length of 6/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our side view. And our top view, width of 4/4 and length of 6/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are our 3 boundary boxes. I'll give you a minute to catch up to that. Okay, so still working. So our front boundary box was 4 wide, 5 high. Our side boundary box was 6 long and 5 high. And our top boundary box was 4 wide and 6 long. Okay. So now that we have our boundary boxes, erase these lines, don't get confused. So we have to figure out where to start. Now for this object, our front view has 2 different sections, our side view has 2 different sections, and our top view has 2 different sections. So they're all kind of equally complicated. So I'm going to start with my front view. So I'm going to choose the section that sticks out furthest. That would be this section right here. So that section, it's on the bottom of my object, and it's all the way on the left edge of my object as well. So it's going to be in the bottom left corner. Okay, so that is bottom left corner. It's a 1/4 inch wide and a 1/4 inch high. It's going to be right here. Okay. So that's that face. Now in my front view, further back, I have that oddly shaped face. So for that one, I'm going to kind of just go around the edges. Okay. So the bottom edge here is 3/4, and that's exactly what we have left over in our boundary box. So that doesn't change. Our right edge is 5/4 high. That's the same as the right edge of our boundary box, so that doesn't change. The top edge is 4/4 wide. That's the same as the top edge of our boundary box, so that doesn't change. But on the left edge, it's only 2/4 tall. So from this top left corner, I'll go down 2/4 right there for that corner. And if I continue going around, it looks like I have a width of 3/4. So my width lines 1, 2, 3 for that corner right there. Then I have a height of 2/4 straight down. So 2 for that corner. And then I have a width of 2/4 there. And that brings me back to that corner. Now connecting the dots. And that's our section, and that line isn't going to be used. So that line is going to be erased. Okay. Now our side and top view. I'll do my side view next. So I'm going to start with the section that's furthest out to the side. And that would be this section right here. Okay, so that's pushed out further than the rest. So I can see it's in the back of my object. It's all the way to the back edge. And I see it's only 1/4 inch long. So from the back edge, go forward 1/4, be right there. And I see it's 5/4 high all the way up there. So it would actually be right there. So that's that section. Then I have this horizontal section right there. So I see it's all the way at the bottom of my object, so it's going to be along the bottom edge. I see it goes all the way to the front of my object, so it's going to go to the front edge. It's only 1/4 inch high. Okay, so 1/4 inch high, and it's 5/4 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be right there. And these two lines are going to be erased. Now my top view. So my top view, I'm going to begin with the section that's furthest up. And that would be this right here. Okay. I can see it's all the way to the back of my object. Okay, so it's going to be along the back edge. And I see it's only 1/4 inch long. So along the back edge, 1/4 inch long, we'll place it there. It is 4/4 wide. There. It'd be right there. So that's that section of my top view. Now, the other section in my top view, I said before, we won't see the whole thing. We're actually only going to be able to see about that much of it. Okay? Because the other portion is underneath that overhanging part. Right? So I see it's all the way on the left, so it's going to be along my left edge. Goes all the way to the front of the object, so it goes to the front edge, and it's only 1/4 inch wide. So place it right there, and we'd only be able to see back to here. And that would be that top section, which means that these two lines go away. But we're not quite done yet, because we are going to have some dotted lines in this object. Okay. So in my top view, if I was looking directly from above and I had X-ray vision, I would be able to see that this section right here would be this thick. This section right here would only be that thick. So I need to have a dotted line separating those two sections. So I would actually have a dotted line right there, separating those two sections of different thickness. And in my side view, I'm also going to have some dotted lines. So, for example, if I was looking at it from the side, this section down here, I would see it's that thick. Okay. This section up here, I see it's that thick. The section in between, though, would only be that thick. So I actually need two different dotted lines separating those different areas. So I'm going to have one separating just the bottom 1/4 inch. And I'm going to have another one separating the upper portion. Okay. So that's what your B-8 should look like.